Hello, and this is just a short little video about my sample media files, how to get them and what they are, and to kind of give you some of the little Easter eggs that I put into them. So the first thing we need to do is to go download those sample files. I will put a link in the description below, so you should be able to get them there. What I'll do is what browser should we use to download it? You know what? Let's use Tor. Why not? We'll do something weird. And there we are with Tor. So what I'll do is I will paste that link that I'm putting in the description below into the address bar and navigate to that. Now this is just my Dropbox account where I have shared this zip file. It will have an extension of 7zip.7z and basically should be able to be opened in any zip compression utility, I would assume. Shouldn't be hard. Depending on how large the window is, you may or may not get a download button. If you don't, you'll just have the ellipsis up here in the corner. You can always just click that and say direct download. Or if you have the download button, you can drop it down and again, direct download. Nothing shocking. Go ahead and click on direct download. And it'll take a little bit because it is Tor, but what the heck. Click download file. Whatever browser you're using, it may or may not ask. It depends. This is based on Firefox, so it's going to ask. You need to save the file. By the way, if you are using Tor, you honestly should never automatically save files. You always make sure that you double check that kind of thing. Click OK. It will then open up a dialog box, ask you go get it. I've already downloaded it, but just click save. And we can close Tor. And if you used a different browser, obviously you can close whatever browser you're using. Now, let's go see what we got. So I'm going to open up File Explorer here. Go to my downloads directory. Here she is. Now I have 7zip installed. If you do not have 7zip, feel free to use whichever unzipping program you wish. I'll just say 7zip, extract files. Here we are. Just going to extract it to the same directory. Click OK. And it should only take a little bit of time. Now, I save this in my Dropbox's pictures directory for me. When I'm going to be using something like this for demos, you will note that I almost always will put it onto my desktop. It just makes it easier to find. Obviously, you can put it anywhere you want. I'm going to go ahead and open this here for simplicity's sake. And here we are. So basically this is 30 items that I've put out here for us so that we can use them in examples, etc. So as I go through and start doing some examples for you and tutorials, I want to make sure that we have some sample files that we can mess around with. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of walk through these real quick just to talk to you about them, just for fun, to show you what they are. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the first picture. So that is a picture, a representative sample, mind you, of my first computer from 1978, an Apple II, and yes, it had a cassette tape drive, and yes, it had a weird RCA, if I remember correctly, television set. Yep, there's a scary thought for you. By the way, 4K of memory. 4K of memory. Here's a scary thought too. Seal of The Army of Light from Babylon 5. It was the motto for my company for many years, to stand against the dark or perish. Maybe a bit schmarmy, but I like it. This is, I am going to horribly mispronounce this, Bangyok De Tian. Sorry, can't pronounce it very well. Falls in Vietnam. One of the most beautiful falls in the world. Hey, Bruce Lee approves. Nice little gif there. Cyber Squirrel 1, thus decal. Squirrels do far more damage to the United States infrastructure than terrorists have ever done. That is, I always find it kind of a funny thing. And I have a patch, and I also have the decal. I used to have this decal on my truck. But yeah, Cyber Squirrel 1, pretty funny. Data, dropping the dope beats with the Technics. Hey man, we got raves to go to. It's Zod. What more can you say? One of the best pizzas in the world, at least to me. Pizza's kind of a relative thing, but this is from Giordano's, which I can also not pronounce very well, which is horrible because I'm half Italian. Giordano's in Chicago. Some of the best dip dish pizza you'll ever have. Really, really like it. Highly recommend it. Get it every time I go to Chicago. I love it to death. Let me scooch this over just a tad. The off-center thing's killing me here. Hallstatt in Austria. Very, very picturesque town. A lot of people recognize this. It's good stuff. This is from Ice Hotel, and I cannot pronounce this word, even though I do have family in Sweden. I cannot pronounce Jukadravi. Sorry. Japanese, I'm fine. German, I'm fine. Jukas Jarvi, no idea. Sorry. But it is a beautiful hotel. This is the church in that hotel. It is made out of ice. Yes, the hotel is made out of ice. You can sleep on beds of ice. And as you can see, the pews here in this church are actually made out of ice, and so are these walls. And they make it every year. It's a very cool place. Teal'c. Hey man, gotta have Teal'c with his Indeed. I like that. Iron Giant, holding the kid. Me, when I went to Los Alamos for prepping for my nuclear weapons class. So anyway, that's me at Los Alamos' entryway. Something I believe very strongly. People should treat people well. And this is a very, very great quote about that. Of course, followed right after by Spock and Kirk in the Mirror Universe. I suppose we could discuss the humor in that in and of itself. Macho Man Randy Savage. I love Macho Man. It's the Macho Man. You may not like it, but accept it. I can't do a good Macho Man. Just go with it, man. One of my favorite types of cats in the world, Norwegian forest cat, looking like a boss walking across a plain of snow. Pai Mei. I love red pandas, so red panda attack. A picture I made a while back of one of my playthroughs in Fallout 4 with a few mods in it that green up the world, etc. But this is anyway the Revere radar array at sunrise. Very pretty. Fallout 4 with the proper mods actually can look quite beautiful. Sheldon. Go check out, just put Sheldon the Tiny Dinosaur and you can easily get to the place. Spock. Eyebrow, use it in class a lot, works well. It's like, why have you allowed the public to read this classified document? This is a sensitive document. Why have you done this? The logo for the Tachi from The Expanse. The Enemy is Listening, a great OPSEC poster. Do not forget, that is the truth right there. Jeff Goldblum, because, you know, it's Jeff Goldblum, gotta have it. And the Yamato from Space Battleship Yamato, Uchu Senkan Yamato, $21.99. Anyway, I thought this was a cool picture. All right, so that's all the photos. You'll see here I've got some other files too. I have a bus route PDF, nothing particularly shocking, as you can see. And I've got a sample of IPAWS, which I used to teach, which is basically it's the infrastructure that gets you the emergency alert system, et cetera, from FEMA, et cetera. So, and I got you a couple doc file and an Excel spreadsheet. So if I open up my Excel spreadsheet here, it'll open up in Google Docs. So that's the data for the Excel spreadsheet. And if I open up my sample docx file, it also will open up in Google Docs. And of course this, you get a Ryo Oki, because Ryo Oki is one of my favorite anime characters from a show called Tenchi Muyo. And I wrote a book on Tenchi Muyo. So you get Ryo Oki. There you go. All right, now let me show you a couple Easter eggs that I put into this. So let me list this stuff by detail view real quick. And you'll see here, since some of this stuff is going to be used for security training, both on YouTube and in my actual college classes, etc. I've tagged some of these pictures, so you can actually see the tags. Now, there's more in this. So these pictures that have the tags on them, with the exception of the Los Alamos one, let me go and I'll just do the waterfall here. And you know what? We'll do the Hallstatt. So I'll just go over here and I'll say properties. And I know my pronunciation may be a little screwy. Just go with it. I can't pronounce German either very well. Anyway, if I click on details, you'll see here that I've put in a title. And I've put what the subject is. I've given it a rating, so if I ever need to do something with that, we can do it. I put some tags in. One thing I did on these photos that actually have pictures, with the details, I gave you a link in the comment, so you can actually copy that link. And if you go take it over to a browser and paste it into the browser, you should be taken to the Google Maps page for that location or somewhere nearby. Just figured, hey, what the heck, show you how you can put in a URL. There actually is a URL field in EXIF data for pictures, but it is not supported very well in the Windows format and other operating systems. So just to make sure I didn't put it in the URL, I actually just put it in the comment. That way I know it'll work. If I scroll down, you'll notice something else kind of interesting too. I did add manually the latitude and longitude for the location. I basically went and looked up the address and pulled the latitude and longitude down and then put it in manually. I obviously didn't, I guess I shouldn't say obviously, I didn't take these pictures, so I just did it manually for you. So it has the latitude and longitude. I'm going to use it in my security classes anyway, because I want people to be able to see that that could actually be in a picture, and of course if that is from something at home, that could be bad. And I think that's it. Thank you very much. And if you do enjoy my videos, I would really appreciate if you went to my Patreon and gave me a little support. I want to start trying to do this as a job. And obviously that means I'm going to have to start, uploading videos. But if I'm going to do it as a job, I got to get paid. Got to eat, right? So, hey, I'd really appreciate liking, sharing, subscribing, and of course, the Patreon. Though I do realize that this isn't really a tutorial. This is mainly just to explain what those files are. All right. Thank you very much, and hopefully we'll see you later. Bye.